and gentlemen, to another episode of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. Oh shit. How you guys doing? I'm okay. I just got off of a job interview. So, we're gonna see how that goes. So your girl got some interviews. So your girl decided to let's record a show. So I want to talk about in this episode um, the repercussions if the Russians are allowed back into the competitive arena leading up into Paris 2024 in gymnastics. Now, I know for other sports, it has different ramifications. In other sports, it means different things. But in our sport of gymnastics, it means a lot if the Russians are allowed to compete again. I know in other sports it doesn't mean so much, but in our sport it means a lot. So for those of you guys who don't know, there is a huge possibility. I wouldn't even say a possibility anymore. I would say more times than not, 9 times out of 10, more than likely the Russians are going to be allowed to go to the Asian Games in September and compete for a spot at the Olympic Games. Now, if because they are banned from competing at all world championship events or whatever, but if they get to go to the Asian Championships, they get to skip the whole process and qualify automatically to the Olympic Games. And with what I've seen from the Russian athletes, from what I've seen from the Americans, we have a hey everybody, like and share. Hit that like button right there if you're on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page, or on my YouTube page. Hit those like buttons. Of course, this wouldn't be a Michaela Loves Gymnastics if we didn't hit a story in a few minutes, but I wanted to set us all up for the conversation before we start smoking. So, if the Russians are allowed to go to this Olympic Games, it's a great chance that it's going to be the same set of girls that went to the last Olympics. It's a great chance that it's going to be Listinova, Melnikova, um, Vlada, and two other bitches. Right. And with that being said, it's a great chance that going to this Olympic Games from the Americans is going to be Suni, Jordan, and Jay. So that's almost like a rematch competition, everybody. So if we're just gonna run down this rabbit hole that the Russians are going to be allowed to go to the Olympic Games and it's going to be a rematch. If it's a legitimate rematch, who do we think is going to win, the Americans or the Russians? Now, I'm going to give you all a second to think about this while we're having this conversation. Roll your blunts up, get your drinks together, put your lines together, do whatever you feel to do because we should have a real grown person conversation right now. Story. So if the Russians are allowed to come back, what do we even think the Russians can do? I don't think uh Akramova, and I'm just going to say it wrong, I think she's retired or done with the sport. Now that one, the other one, I think she's still around. So maybe RJ. Maybe RJ. Let me put this on the screen. I thought those gymnasts that didn't support the war were allowed. Almost all of them publicly support. I know, but I'm not sure that's how they're going to do it with gymnastics. I'm not sure. And part two is wow. I think they would send listed over Vlada. Um, they would have to. They would have to. So we're going to run down this rabbit hole of what if they send those group of girls to the Olympics again? Do we think they would beat the Americans? I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot. I think the Russians are the only team. I think the Chinese could do it if they didn't fall so much, but they do, so we're not even going to put them into the list. I think the Russians are the only team with a shot as a team to put together a group of girls that could beat the Americans. Um, and plus, if they qualify through the Asian games, the Asian countries seem to be more in support of the Russians. So it depends on all of that, RJ. It depends on all of that. But we're just gonna go down the rabbit hole of they're gonna compete. So we already know that the Russians they have a lot of girls who can do two vaults. It's just they have no girls who can do chums. They barely have girls who can do your Chinko double twist. So we already know vault is going to be the area where the Americans are going to be able to gain a stronghold. Let's say Jay Carey, Jordan Childs. Let's say the team is Jay Carey, Jordan Childs, Sunisa Lee, Charlize Jones, and hell, let's just throw Connor in there. Let's just throw Connor in there for good measures. Story everybody. You have so Jade and Jordan are doing Chums, and let's say Charlize is doing a Yurchenko double twist. So the Americans are off to a great start off of one event. Then we come to Miss Bars, where Russian is for to kick our asses. Yes, we have Suni on the team and Charlize on the team, which may help actually with this cycle. Which may help. Which may actually Jordan would be the lead off person. Charlize would be second. Suni would be the anchor on bars. What can Russia put up to Vlada, Melnikova, Listinova? Russia is winning after bars. Russia is at least caught back up. They may not be winning after bars, but they have at least caught back up after bars. And then we go to balance beam, where I think all six gymnasts are going to fall. So it just depends on what combinations or connections they fall on. Connor definitely has to go up on beam. Suni definitely have to go up on beam in this scenario. And who would be the third person on that team? Jay, Jordan, or Charlize? Well, it wouldn't be Jay Carey. It's no offense to you, Jay Carey, boo. I love you. No, I love you, sis. You is my girl. But you now. Charlize or Jordan? I'm gonna put up Jordan just because she did beam in a team final at the Olympics before and at Worlds before, and she was very solid. So I'm gonna give Jordan the chance. But ooh, Jordan or Charlize, Lord. Now I really think Charlize could solidify her spot on this team if she became very consistent and win a world medal this year on beam too. She could solidify her spot on this team because they really need a strong beam worker. So in this scenario, who would the Russians put up? Vlada, Melnikova, and Listinova again. Shoot, yeah. Um, I can't think of any other Russian gymnasts that are stronger than them three right now on beam. Now I'm sure y'all could name a list of people, and if y'all want to throw out some names, I'm here looking. But So we're gonna live in a world where nobody falls. But what else is okay? Okay, we're gonna put. But who would she put up? But who would she go up on beam over? RJ, would she go up over Vlada or Listanova or Melnikova? Definitely not. You think she'll go up over Melnikova? Okay. So in the world where it's Listanova, they all fall a lot on beam. They all fall a lot on beam. So in that world, in that universe, which team is leading after 3 rotations? I think if Russia, with those 3 gymnasts RJ put up, over the 3 gymnasts I put up on America, I think Russia is in the lead after 3 events. Not by a lot now. Not by a lot, but I do think Russia will be in the lead after 3 events. So then we go to floor exercise. And who is Russia's? And this is where the Americans win, because who the hell is Russia's putting up on floor other than Melnikova and Vlada? I mean, and Listanova. Vlada. Who else do they have on floor? What else can they do on floor? They have weird ass choreographies, horrible turns. Like, so this is where the Americans win. So whoever, I'm gonna put Vlada. Vlada is first. Listy is second. Melnikova is last. And then the Americans put up Charlize, Jordan, and Jade. Yeah, the Americans would win. The Americans would win in my scenario. In my scenario, what do you guys think? Who do y'all think will win in this um, hypothetical Olympic team final? You think the Russians would beat the Americans again, or do you think the Americans would come out on top this time? I don't know about none of the Russian people, so y'all throw out some names. Oscar. Ooh, I think at this Olympic Games, if Brazil puts up the team that they can, with Rebecca Andrade and Flavia and Lauren Oliveira and Julia, and they don't fall, and these girls don't fall, I believe Brazil has a chance to upset things. I absolutely believe Japan has a chance to be a medal contender. I don't think they could beat the Americans, though, not on a good day. But Brazil, because of the combination of Rebecca and Flavia, I think they have a chance. But in a world where the Russians are there, no, 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 no. It's between the Americans and Russia for gold. And then for bronze, it's between Brazil, Italy, GB, and Japan. And if China ever decides to show up and show out, they probably could win too. Yeah, yeah. And I would go with, even though we haven't seen her in a long time, me and Addis was just like, what happened to Beta? Like she hasn't been there in a long time. But I would love to see Jada Barbosa on the team, just to. She's been around for so long. Mama has been around for a long time, so I would love to see her on the team and win a medal. What is France's best possible team for Paris? Team France best possible team that they could put out for Paris with the girls that we see so far is, first of all, let's talk about the Kayla girl. I don't blame France for not wanting her to go to Al Jazeera. That's a huge ass bar score that they want to keep. They just have to find a better strategy of keeping the girl, because the strategies that they're using right now to try to get the girls to stay at the national training camp. I don't know what's going on at the national training camp in France, but none of your gymnasts like it. Maybe I should try some other shit. Um, it would be her, Melanie, Laurent Chappie. Oh gosh, the other black girl. She was just here. And Moraine, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm gonna replace Caroline with the Kayla girl. Hopefully she changed her mind and wants to go to the Olympics and compete for France. That would be France's strongest team. Um, yeah, even I would replace. You're probably right, RJ. Like I want Laurent Chappie on the team, but you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm not gonna argue. And I think with their strongest team possible, with the way they done fucked up their system, they could have been shooting for a bronze medal at this Olympic Games, but now they're like somewhere sixth, seventh place, hoping just to qualify to team finals at the Olympics, hoping to qualify a team to the Olympic Games. Like they don't fuck around. Like this quad, because of the Russians not there, other teams aren't fucking around. They're stepping there. Japan has stepped. I think Japan now. Let's talk about this. Japan is a stronger team in Asia than China. Japan as a team, not individual girls now, not individual girls, but as a total and complete team, Japan as a team has surpassed China. Is that something we thought we would talk? We always talk about the downfall of the Romanians, but are we going to have to start talking about the downfall of the Chinese gymnasts? Hi, Cindy. I'm sorry about your friend. I'm not sure if you guys were still together, but I'm so sorry that he passed away. Um, that's crazy that China has absolutely. Romania has lost their standing in the world. I think it's 100% because of uneven bars, and China is because it's going to be because of all. For a long time, they have been able to bars. They have been able to keep up because even though they're only been able to do your Chinko fulls, they have been able to give like 6, 7, 6, 8 start values on bars, which kind of make up for it. Now, even though your Chinko fulls are bad, like, and I don't understand this, like, and I had this conversation with my Chinese friends over here on Michaela Loves Gymnastics a lot. Like, y'all need to choose a different body type of girl. And and at one point I thought there was, but I see that y'all do have different body types of girls. Y'all just really shade the bigger, taller, slightly. When I say heavier, I'm not saying fatter. I just literally mean heavier girls. Instead of weighing 75 pounds, these girls probably weigh 85 pounds. Who has the weight to push the vault springboard down hard enough to be able to do bigger vaults? Like, y'all cannot keep sending these 4'2" beautiful bar workers, beautiful beam workers that cannot do vaults, that cannot tumble, that are basically bar specialists that y'all teach basic gymnastics so they can do something on beam, but it just don't translate to floor vault. and y'all are really, really, and like, and y'all not even keeping up with the trends on uneven bars. Like, very few of the Chinese y'all still doing toe shoots up to the high bar. Like, I need to learn these Van Leeuwens, these Chows, these Chow twos, these, and y'all need to figure out how to connect these damn Chows into these one arm pirouette skills. Like, y'all are really dying, Team China. And like y'all keep like, yes, these one arm pirouette skills are highly valued. They're all worth ease, and they're all are very beautiful to watch. But guess what? Y'all no longer get connection value for connecting them together anymore. So it's like you should be able to do one to a release move to a low bar transition, but y'all are still trying to do Healy to a Ono to a Jaeger. Like, that's not the combination that y'all need to do. Y'all need to do the Healy to the Jaeger, through to a Pat, through to a Van Leeuwen. That's the combination that y'all need to learn. Y'all falling behind on the trends, China. That used to be the trendsetters. Now the trendsetters on uneven bars are the Russians. They are. And it seemed like y'all kind of gave up on your Chinko style of vault and went to the Sukahara style vault, which is cute, but not when they're pipe tucked over, not rotated around, stupid low. You're twisting them into the ground. Like, that's not it either, China. Y'all need to really work on proper your Chinko technique, picking a different type of girl. Stop starving these girls to death, letting these girls gain some weight so they can have the power to do these skills. Imagine, China, if y'all could put up consistent, y'all don't even need Rudies or Arminars or Chungs. Like, y'all just need quality your Chinko doubles. Like, your Chinko doubles that can score 14s. If y'all could put up 3 14 vaults and three, what's a good score on floor? A good score on floor is like almost a 14. So a 3 13 3 scores on floor, on top of the 15s y'all can score on beam and floor, y'all will be unstoppable. But y'all keep choosing these little baby girls who are 4'1" and who are 65 pounds, and they are real cute and real little, and they can spin real fast, and they hit beautiful ring positions, but they can't vault. They can't. They can't do nothing on floor. Right? That's not the type of gymnast y'all need to choose. Y'all need to choose somebody who can do it all: vault, bars, floor, all. Y'all had these type of gymnasts. I just saw a list of names: Mo Lan, Li Jalia, Ki Kwan Kwan. Yes, like, we need these type of girls. But I see these girls coming to these competitions for y'all China. Y'all just throw them to the dust. Y'all had one girl who had Chung vault and a Yochinko double twist, and she was okay on floor, and she had decent beam, but because she was bad on bars, y'all just did not pay her any attention. Y'all did not give her love. She constantly was y'all Chinese vaulting champion every year, but she never made any world or Olympic teams. Why? Because she couldn't do bars. But y'all have 1,000,001 bar workers. Y'all need somebody to do vault, China. Don't be Romania. Oh my gosh, don't be Romania, and like, that's Romanian problem. Like, and this is the thing. Romanians can't vault either. Why? Because of the same issue. They're stuck on this. Gymnastics is for little girls. They're stuck on these 13, 14-year-old, holding them down to be 4'5" at 65 pounds. That's not gymnastics anymore. The top athletes are about 5'1", 5'2". Hi, everybody. And weight rise around 100 pounds. Around 100 pounds. That's the type of athlete that you guys need in China to be able to do these Yurchenko double twists, these Rudy vaults, these Suk vaults. These little babies are never going to be able to do these Sukahara vaults. I don't know why y'all trying. Why are y'all trying it with these little babies over there in China? Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to the solo episode of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. Right now, we're on a rant about why China. The title of the show was Russia versus the United States rematch. And if you go back to the beginning of the show, we were talking about the people that possibly could be making the Russian Olympic team because the Russians are going to send a team to the Asian not Asian American, the Asian Games, and they're going to qualify to the Olympics. And when they qualify to the Olympics, they're automatically going to be medal contenders. So, do we think they're going to challenge the Americans? And with that being said, we went into other teams, and now we're stuck on China. And how far back China has fallen, especially in last quad, but not on this quad. China is going in the direction of the Romanians. And it don't make any sense because China fully have the funding and the coaches and the facilities to be one of the top teams in the world. They have the talent to be one of the top teams in the world. So for China not to be one of the top teams in the world, there is definitely a crack in their system. And I thoroughly believe it's because China consistently chooses the wrong type of girl. They take Romania too. This is why Romania has fallen back. Whereas the Americans, the Russians, they're just like, okay, whatever is going to win, we're going to put them on the team. Whatever is going to win, we're going to put them on the team. Whereas the Chinese, you have girls who win your national championships on ball and on floor that you don't put on team because they don't fit a certain body type or a certain Chinese small image that you guys love to promote. And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous at this point, you guys. Um, Whereas a team like Japan, on the other hand, they pick the right body types. Their girls look amazing. Their girls have balance. Their girls are good on vault. Their girls are good on bars. Their girls are good, great. They're probably the best team in the world right now on beam. They have the current two world champions on beam. They're taking y'all spot. Not only are they taking y'all spot, China, in the world as a team, they have taken y'all spot completely as a team on beam. They are the beam team in the world. Russia has surpassed y'all on bars. Japan has surpassed y'all on beam. Ooh, sorry, everybody. Raphael said, Olympics 2008, China was strong, but 2012, 2016, US was strong, but 2020, Russia came back, but only because of what happened to Simone. I'm going to sit here and say this. I think Russia still had a chance of winning, even with Simone, because of the team that they picked to go to the Olympic Games. But China is the junior world champ. Okay, Oscar Soda. Oh, I don't mean that. I don't mean that rudely, Oscar, so please forgive me. But okay, so it doesn't translate. They should be the junior world champs. A junior is small, so yeah, trying to do their thing when it's a small competition. But when it comes to the big girls, China don't know how to pick big. China don't know how to pick big. As soon as the girl gained 10 pounds, they're ready to send them home and to shun them out of retirement. Like, I don't understand why China didn't, not force, but convince a lot of the girls from last quad to continue. They had the experience. They knew how to upgrade. They were a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, so they could have done more. Imagine a gymnast like Chun Shu Sung. If she was still around, I'm pretty sure she's a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, I'm pretty sure she probably has the weight to compress the springboard now. On top of all of her amazing other talents, the Lin Cha, yeah, he's no longer the head coach in China. No, they didn't. I think he's back in America. I think he's back in Iowa. I think he's back at his gym. What happened at She truly was, and I don't understand why she didn't stick around. I don't understand why they didn't have that girl from 2016 stick around. Like, China, y'all are being like the rush of Romanians for real. Like the secondary title to this show, China versus the Romanians. Like y'all both are falling so behind in the system. Russia kept basically their whole Olympic team, knowing damn well they were going to fully be banned from this Olympic cycle, and all of their girls are still around. Why? Because they know that the older gymnast can do harder stuff. Look at Listanova. The older she get, the harder stuff she can do. Even Vlada, it's not that necessarily she can do harder stuff. It's just the stuff that she does look better. Definitely, Melnikova is getting light years better the older that she's getting. It just makes no sense, China. It makes no sense. You guys are so gonna Romania yourselves out. So focused on doing these Healy turns and these Uno turns and these. I wonder if Pasinka and Nabiva had been any help on their vaults. If they were in this current, maybe not Tatiana, but Maria with her Chong, yeah, they could use that vault. Yeah, it was horrible in the air, but they could use it. They could absolutely use it right now. Um, what Russia just needs really is to be consistent. Oh, they are coaching in China. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. I don't know. I haven't heard that, RJ. That's the first I heard of that. I hope it helps. I mean, but that's but that has to be the main priority with coaching in China is helping the Chinese delegation understand that they need to just pick a different type of girl to go to the next level. If they want Chinese gymnastics to return to prominence, they need to pick a different type of girl. It's not the talent, it's not the skill set, it's their body types. They just physically can't do certain things. What we're asking the Chinese girls to do is for them to keep making Madison Coaching do an arm. Madison Coaching can't do no damn arm. Madison Coaching could barely squeak around in your chinkle double twist when she could do it. Like, it's just not possible for her body. What if it was like on the junction net for Chong Fei from what was it like on the jump? I don't have no idea. I didn't know about no gymnastics community back then, so I had no clue. But I can imagine she was beloved, especially when she threw that damn chunk. That chung vault at the time was impossible for a woman to do. It was just an impossible vault for a woman to do. The Lopez vault was a stupid hard vault for a women vaulter. So that chung vault was just impossible. I think the first man that I ever saw do that quote unquote chung vault was I was beyond gagged. Like The same way I was gagged for Simone Biles during the Yurchenko double pipe, that's how gagged I was when Chong Fei came out with that Chung vault. Like, it was inconceivable for a woman gymnast. A surprise team that I think might make this, I think we have to look out for the Argentinas. I think they might have a shot of making it to the Olympics over some of the European teams. Um, the Australians, I think I don't think that would necessarily be a surprise, but I do think they have a shot of making it to the Olympics over some of the European teams, the South Koreans, well, the Koreans, whatever. I think they have a shot of making it over some of the European teams and the Mexicans. Look out for our North American brethren. I also think they have a shot of making it over some of the European teams and the Colombians and the Colombians. I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil didn't make it to the Olympics again. I wouldn't be surprised if the Italians didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if France didn't make it to the Olympics as a full team. That's the one that I'm not looking forward to. Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to jinx them. But that's the one that I think is going to be the greatest gag at this World Championships. I don't think the French are going to make it as a full team. Hungary is coming back strong, and you know what other team is looking real good? The damn Dutch, the Netherlands, and Nina de Waal's team. They look good too. Um, so we're gonna watch the Oceania Championships, which is the Australian, New Zealand championships down there. Like, oh no tea, no shade. Oh no tea, no shade. Oh, I support all the gymnasts, and I really enjoy all the gymnastics. But maybe if it was like right after college when I was craving elite gymnastics, maybe. But I already know. I already know. Like, it's gonna be a lot of Yoshinko layouts, a lot of C dismounts. I'm not sure if I want to watch this. I'm not sure if I'm going to put. I'm going to watch the clips. I'm not going to sure if I'm going to wake up early in the morning and watch this. How about y'all? Y'all going to watch the Australia New Zealand Championship thing? And I think they get the qualified teams to the Worlds too here. Now, did you see the post about Morgan and Connor saying their bunny died and she had? Oh yeah, okay. First of all, Morgan Hurd. Oh gosh, R.I.P. to Morgan Hurd elbow. Like, she already was just barely making a comeback last year. So for this to happen again, I just don't see how much Morgan can contribute to the team. And this is her junior year. So all I'm going to say is whatever events Morgan is able to do over the next 2 years, let's just be happy that she's there. Like, let's just not put pressure on Morgan to get like tens and stuff like that because I just don't. I want Morgan to end her career happy. So Connor. Connor is just like most of us is just having the time of it. Like, so her pet died after she moved to Washington to her new coaches or whatever, and I guess she had to see Valeria and them at training camp. Well, yeah, duh. I wonder if Connor just left on Valeria and them like she did the other coaches too, and that's why she was dreading probably, huh? Okay, let's play this. Why do we think Connor left Woga if she's still trying for Paris? Could it be it was too much pressure for her at Woga with Valeria? Maybe it's a good thing that she left Valeria. Everybody is worried, but maybe Connor was like, "Oh no, Valeria, you're not gonna Caitlin Ohashi me. You're not gonna Rebecca Bross me. I'm gonna just go to another coach right now while I still have a shot, while I can still relearn things." I don't. I applaud Connor for it actually. I applaud Connor because we all was like, why the hell would Connor go to Valeria in the first place? Like Connor's gymnastics and Valeria's gymnastics as a coach just did not fit. So we're applauding Connor McClain and her action. Stand up for your rights, Connor. Do what's best for you, girl. We'll see you at UCLA one day. Um, I mean LSU, but hopefully UCLA, but LSU. I feel like it's something else that happened gymnastically that I'm forgetting to talk about. Mm. Well, I have the views. Go follow our Facebook page. We created a new Facebook page. It is the WLG Podcast on Facebook. We are going to move the show over towards Facebook more. Hey, Nisha, Nisha, calm down. Okay, I'll post a link to the page. Hold on, let me do it now. Give me 1 second. People asking me to do stuff. My name not added. So hold on. Let me try to get this done. Uh hold on, everybody. Talk about. Give me another team to talk about because this was fun. I need another team, but I can't think of anybody else. Give me another team that y'all want us to. Oh, okay, that's what I was trying to do. I want to share it, not log out. I will post the link, just not right now. It's not. Oh, is it right here? Uh, Now, if Charlotte Booth somehow, some way, moved her citizenship over to GB and was able to compete for GB, this would be the greatest thing for gymnastics history. Like, I'm so here for that. If that's what she's trying to do, now that is all speculation. But man, I absolutely would love that idea for her. I so would love that idea for her. I'll post a link later. I can't figure out how to do it. Sorry. I tried. I tried very hard. Y'all saw me try, right? So I think the team going for GP is going to be the Greta Gadarova sister, which is going to be Jessica Gadarova. I think it's going to be Anadine. Ooh, the light skinned black girl with the curly afro. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anadine Achampi. Is that how you say her name? Am I close? Am I close? Do I need $1 in the jar? Okay, we're gonna do Brazil next, Rafael. So I think it's gonna be the Greta Gadarova sister, Anadine Achapi, Achampi, Achampi. I think it's gonna be Alison Kinsella. I think it's gonna be I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, I'm forgetting a bunch of people on GB. Hold on. I'm forgetting people. I'm forgetting people. Georgia May Fenton, I think, is going to make the Japanese, the Great Britain team. So that's 4. Am I going to give it to Becky or Jennifer Gadarova? Who would you give it to? Rebecca Downey or Jennifer Gadarova as that 5th person going to the Olympic Games? The first name that I see, that's the team I'm going to go with, and I'm going to go with the lineups from that team. I agree with you, RJ, about Canada too, so far. It's just Team Canada. It seemed like they have another black girl named you would go with Becky over fucking Jennifer. Okay, fine. I asked the questions and we're running with it, huh? So the team the team for GB that y'all, because this is definitely that y'all put up. The teams for GB that y'all put up would be the Greta Gadarova sister, Jessica Gadarova, Anadine Champi. I know I'm jacking this girl name up, but I'm trying. Um, Allison Kinsella. Those are our 3 all around girls. I will use Georgia May Fenton and Becky Downey. Okay. So for vault, hey, that's what y'all says. That's what y'all said. I don't even know who Poppy Grace is, and I wouldn't put her on my team. So for vault, we're going with Jessica Achampi and Georgia May. No, Allison Kinsella. I forget that. Allison Kinsella. Those are the 3 girls we're using for vault. For bars, we're using I would use Kinsella, Georgia May, Becky Downey. Then on Beam, I would use Jessica Georgia May. So I guess Georgia May would be doing the all. Jessica, I guess Georgia May would be doing. I would use Jessica Allison. I guess Georgia May would anchor, and then from Fleur I would use Allison. I know Jessica is anchoring. I guess a Champon. Odine. Oh, okay, okay. So I will use Odine on beam. Who would I not use on beam? Gadarova. Yes, we're not using Gadarova on beam. We're not using Gadarova on beam. So we're going to use Odine, a Champon, Odine, um, Georgia May, and Allison Kinsella. That sounds about right. In my heart, that sounds about right. So then on floor, we're going to use also Adine. I forget that she's on the team. Kinsella, Jessica Gadarova. I think with that team, they'll probably finish somewhere either in third or fourth place. Depending on what the Italians do, and depending on what the Japanese do, and depending on what Brazil do, I think they'll be in third or fourth place. No, I was never a gymnast. I took some gymnastics classes when I was really young, but I just fell in love with the sport, and that's why we are at where we're at. Um, so Brazil, I think we did Brazil already, but it would be Rebecca Andrade, I'm sorry, Flavia Saraiva, Lauren Oliveira, I just said her name. She's going to the Pan American Championships. Help me out, you guys. Um, what is her name? What is little woman name? One who have the skill named after her. Julia, thank you. Thank you. Julia. So who would be the I would want it to be Jada Barbosa, but I would want it to be somebody that actually could help the team win a medal. Now with this Brazilian team, now if I'm being honest, if they do what they need to do and they don't fall apart and they get the biggest scores that they could possibly get, I think that team could beat everybody. It's the most balanced team. It's just a lot of ifs. It's just a lot of freaking ifs in this conversation. It's if Rebecca Andrade do everything she can do. It's if Flavia don't hurt herself and don't fall. If Flavia and Rebecca can both hit beam and floor and bars and ball. It's a lot of ifs. But if all of that is possible, I think they would be the team to win overall. Because I think if everybody do what they need to do in the all around, I think Rebecca would come in first. I think Jordan would come in second, but I think Flavia would come in third. If if she does what she needs to do. These are big ifs though, because clearly we've seen over and over and over again these girls not doing what they need to do. I don't know if y'all said it. But we're gonna do it anyways. The Italians. The team that I see the Italians sending to the Olympic Games is Alice D'Amato, I don't think Aja is going to be ready. I hate to say that. So I think it's going to be Alice D'Amata, Georgia Vila, Margot Martina, the one that just won the silver medal at the World Cup. To be honest with you, I don't really know who she is, but I will look her up. The thing is, without Asia, even with Alice doing the all around, without Asia, she's her strongest all arounder. There we go. Those two, yeah. That's those are the five I see. Yeah, going to the Olympics, and I honestly, I don't see the Italians coming past fifth place right now. Right now, I think GB is a stronger team than them. I think Japan is a stronger team than them. I think the Brazilians are a stronger team than them. The Americans, even the Canadians on a good day. And if the Russians are back, I think France and Italy is going to have a hard time advancing to team finals. I think France and Italy, both one of those two teams aren't going to qualify for a team to this Olympic Games. Or Spain either. Between France, Italy, and Spain, one of them, two of those three teams aren't going to qualify for teams to the Olympic Games. There's just too many. There's just too much competition from the South Americans and from the Asians. Just why? Because prior, before it was like you was going to get two teams from the North Americans. You're going to get China. You may get Japan. You may not. You may get Brazil. You may not. You may get Australia. You may not. And the rest of the teams was going to be European countries. This quad, I think Europe may only qualify four teams to the Olympics. How many have they qualified so far? They qualified GB, and that's it. I don't think Germany is going to qualify a team to the Olympics, but the Dutch is possible. Even though Germany always, I think the Dutch is possible for Germany. I just don't think it's possible. Not this squad. Because how many teams get to qualify to the Olympics? 12, and they're going to qualify 8 from this World Championships and 4 from the whatever else qualification systems they have. And GB, America, and Canada has already qualified. So that means there are 6 spots left to qualify. And from this World Championship, 6 of those spots are going to be determined. I think those 6 spots are going to be Brazil, Japan, China, so that just only leaves 2 more spots for European countries to qualify at this competition, huh? Italy, I'm going with Italy. I'm going to go with the Dutch. Oh, ooh, okay. So I think the teams that are going to qualify through to the Olympics are going to be the USA, who's already qualified, GB, who's already qualified, Canada, who's already qualified. I think is going to be Brazil, Japan, China, Italy, N- Netherlands. I'm gonna take Netherlands. I really think I really think the Argentinians have a shot of qualifying to the Olympic Games through outright, or the Cubans, or the Mexicans. Whew. Somebody in the chat, let me know who are the 8 teams y'all think are going to qualify through to the Olympic Games after this World Championships. Oh, China is definitely on the bubble. China is definitely on the bubble. But if China doesn't qualify through Worlds, they should qualify through Asian Games. They should. That would be if they didn't qualify. And mind y'all see I didn't put France there. So if France doesn't qualify at this Worlds, what would be their next opportunity to qualify? Europeans? Brazil, Japan, Netherlands, Italy, Belgium, France. The last three between China, Australia, Spain, and Romania, and Hungary. Well, I think only 8 qualify here. I think the other 4 spots qualify at their whatever continental championships they got, because at the Pan American Games, teams can qualify. At the African Games, teams can qualify. So I think there's 4 other spots. I think. But if it's all 12 spots and it's just individuals okay, which is probably what it is. Yeah, y'all are probably right. Y'all are probably right. So, damn it. So those same damn 8 teams that I just named, plus, okay, France, then yes, I think they probably will qualify. I don't know. Okay. So, like the Pan American Games, I know people can qualify to the Olympics there because it's 2 weeks right after Worlds, but that's probably just for individuals. That's probably not for teams. All 12 teams probably have to qualify at this World. Hmm, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. Um, yeah, I haven't thought about it past 8. So, yeah, so the teams are okay. So I got to think about it 12. Let's start over. The 12 teams I think that's going to qualify to the Olympic Games are United States, GB, Canada. They're already qualified. I think Brazil, Japan. I said somebody else. Brazil, Japan, China, Italy, said the Dutch. I think it's either going to be Argentina or Cuba or Panama. Not Panama. Argentina, Cuba, or Mexico. But I'm going to go with Argentina. Argentina. Um, Australia, France, Hungary, uh, Belgium, Mexico, Belgium or Mexico. So those are my 12 teams. Anybody want to put their 12 teams they think is going to qualify to the Olympic Games? That was so hard. I think it's going to be. I don't know who competes for Cuba, really, their individual athletes, but I just know they have a really strong program. They probably have a group of very strong individuals. They're probably going to qualify some individuals to the Olympics. We're probably not a team. Probably not a team. So if I say Cuba, take them off and put Mexico for real. Or Spain. Spain. Romania. Oh, I just don't see it for them. But it's possible. I would put the Ukrainians ahead of the Romanians. I would put the Ukrainians ahead of the Romanians. I would put South Korea ahead of the Romanians. I would put New Zealand. I'm not going to say New Zealand. I'm not going to say New Zealand. Oh yeah, because they don't have a full team right now, do they, RJ? Anything else that we are forgetting to cover in this episode? Mm. Once again, the Oceanic Championships is this weekend. Yeah. So you get to see what the Australians have to offer. We get to see what New Zealand has to offer, and wherever other countries are surrounded them. I think they just compete as Korea. I don't think it's North Korea and South Korea. I just think they compete as Korea, period. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I think that's what it is. Unless South Korea is just bold enough to be like, nah, bitch, we're Korea, bitch, so we're just Korea. I don't know. But I think it's just Korea. Mm-mm. And with that being said, you guys, I'm tapped out. I love you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. And see you guys in the next episode of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. Bye.